They threw it to him 93 times. I'm aware. But like, how many games did you watch with me? I'm like, throw the ball at Najee, you will score.
Welcome back, you Degenerates, to the #1 fantasy football podcast in the world. I'm your host, Mike, with my dear friend, Billy Wilson.
What's up, Mikey?
How you doing?
I really thought you were going to call me Criff.
I was waiting for a Criff Wilson.
Really thought you were going to call me Criff.
Wilson.
I can't do that for you guys.
Oh, God.
How you doing, Joe Green?
Splendid.
Oh,
Splendid.
Yeah.
Splendid.
It's better than, what was the last word? It wasn't splendid. What was it?
Swell.
Swell.
I hate that word.
I said
Beer.
swell.
It's like a fat way to say how you doing. Like, I'm doing good. Like I don't know, swell.
Swelling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week we're talking about the AFC North, baby. We got the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, and Browns.
Yeah. It's
Kick
big
off.
news.
Yeah, big news as well. Kinda.
Kind of.
Oh,
if
it
you
does
like it.
revolve around this division, kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
I guess so. Not anymore. It doesn't.
Well, no.
Yeah.
It formerly did.
Do
So,
you
you
I mean, I'll say.
yeah, you say it.
Baker Mayfield
Traded.
to the Panthers.
For what?
5th round pick.
Thank you.
Conditional, not even.
Conditionally, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's probably
nothing.
on how many games he starts.
Maybe nothing. How does this impact the Panthers? Or if it does at all?
I think he's an upgrade over Darnold.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Not much. I don't think it makes a huge difference.
I think just overall confidence to the team, especially with the team that I wouldn't say that they're looking to make the playoffs, but definitely they're looking to take that next step. Especially they have a good defensive team. They just need offense. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if there's anything, you take a 1-year flyer on Baker, and I mean, he's gonna obviously want to get paid, so he's gonna ball out. So,
Do you think, does this positively impact DJ Moore and the receivers there, or negatively?
I feel like it doesn't really make much of a difference for DJ Moore.
I think we never saw Baker Mayfield actually just sling it. So, there's no better time now to just sling it. You have 1-year contract. You're gonna do what you can. So,
Or he plays it safe, gets his numbers up by just throwing the ball to McCaffrey all day. You know, it's very, very interesting to see what they'll do.
I haven't looked at the stats. I wonder if he's a big check down guy. I don't think he is.
Nah, he's
but
a balls to the wall kind of guy.
yeah, like I'm wondering if that makes you think about McCaffrey at 1 differently, or that top 3.
I don't think it changes for him because no matter what, they're going to put him outside and all that.
Yeah.
I honestly just think that the whole thing going about how bad Baker has looked, it's always because of pass rush and offensive line.
Yeah.
And he has had one of the best offensive lines the last 2 years. Yes, they had a little bit of injuries last year, but overall, considering they've had a very good offensive line in the Browns, and now he's going to one of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Yep.
At being a short, as the people of football talk, he's a short, not strong arm QB.
No,
That's not
he
fast.
has a strong.
He's got
arm.
It's
arm.
like decent. It's
He's
not
got-
like
he's
we're
got
not. He's not like a top
he's-
5.
Yeah.
It's not mobile.
But
That's more of it.
when you're not mobile and you're short, there's a problem.
Yeah, and he's always been counted down as like the guy who just didn't live up to the hype. He's also never really had the best talent around him. Like OBJ was probably his best receiver, and that was some of OBJ's worst years. So maybe DJ Moore helps him become a better quarterback. We know that Robbie Anderson is said to retire now,
Yes.
according to him.
Hated. No, I think they asked him today. He said it's fine. Like he's good, but can't be worse than Darnold for him. I mean, Robbie's dealt with 4 years of Darnold.
Seeing ghost.
Yeah.
You know, Robbie left the Jets to go get away from Darnold, and Darnold followed him. He's like, "Hey, friend."
I just
Little
don't
bit
know
more?
what's happening over in Carolina. They drafted a QB 3rd round. They have Darnold. They have
This guy
Mayfield. It's just
stinks.
like it's just a desperate.
It's just a
a
carousel
desperate
of quarterbacks.
It's desperate from the GM and the coach.
Did I pulled up or someone pulled up Ben McAdoo? He's the offensive coordinator.
He
there.
hated him.
Yeah, his take on Baker was, I didn't think he was a great athlete. This guy is kind of like a pocket quarterback that is short and with small hands. That's what I worry about. But that was obviously back when he got drafted. Now he has to deal with him as his quarterback. Which,
Nah, he likes running QBs. McAdoo wants, there's a reason why he benched Manning.
I don't know that it's a sure lock that he starts. They traded nothing for him.
They traded
It's
nothing.
very true. That's a great point.
Like I said, it doesn't matter. They're gonna play whoever is gonna be the best QB.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no guarantee Baker starts.
I wouldn't be shocked if we saw all 3 QBs this year. I'm dead honest.
That would be a Panthers thing to do. Yeah.
Because your coach is last on his last leg, GM's last leg, so why not?
Yeah, it'll be interesting as training camp comes in and more actual true reporting comes out, not just like speculation. Oh, this guy looks great. This guy, like, who's playing with who, what's happening. The real info will be coming out soon, and then we can make a better assessment.
The only thing good that came out of this is that he got traded before training camp.
Yeah.
So he has time to learn.
Learn. He is stubborn, though. He's not been one to, conform.
But they are playing the Browns week 1. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that tweet was great, by the way, Joe Green.
Right? The Oklahoma pick of him grabbing his groin, and I was like, yeah, I'll throw for 142 and 1 touchdown. The 10-6 victory and act like he's fucking big man on campus.
You know it. Let's talk about the Nets big man and the team. The Bengals.
The whole team.
The whole team. But we have one of the best QBs coming in the league. Joe Burrow, coming off of what was a great playoff run by him. We have Chase, one of the best wide receivers we've ever seen coming out of rookie year. T. Higgins. We have shitty Joe Mixon, who had a pretty great of a year, which we got to talk about him and what's his role going in the future. Let's kick it off. Let's talk about what they added. They added Hayden Hurst. They lost C.J. Uzomah to the Jets.
Oh, close. It was pretty good though.
What did I say?
Not terrible. Uzomah.
It is. It's pretty close.
I'm almost positive I spelled it wrong. I didn't double check the spelling. He's not on this list, buddy. He's not on the team anymore.
Oh yeah, true.
What a fucking idiot! What a fucking dummy! He's looking at the current depth chart.
You also forgot they added Lionel Collins.
I wasn't gonna say that name. I was just gonna say Collins.
Just falling apart.
Who was a huge pickup for right tackle coming from the Cowboys. They also didn't write it down. They took Alex Kappa from the guard from Tampa Bay.
Oh right.
Who's pretty good. I mean, overall, this offensive line going into next year looks great if they all stay healthy. But let's talk about what this offensive line can do and how much better this whole offense in total can get. Because obviously the only downside to this offense was the offensive line. We're looking at a totally different unit here.
Yeah. Joe Burrow was sacked one of the most, if not the most. You usually pull that up every single week. But
so he is the most out of overall stats to starts.
Yeah, so he was constantly on the ground. Tough kid, always willing to get back up. And he still produced, even though he was sacked most in the league, most pressures against. Same with Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon produced pretty well last year. I think this team only gets better. The Super Bowl, defeat that really crushed my heart and soul on that last drive. Really. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into the Super Bowl. The team's only gonna get better from here. I don't think it's gonna be a hangover from being in the Super Bowl. I think they just learned a lot. Even when Joe Burrow was interviewed after, like people were questioning, why did he go out after? He was like, because we're celebrating something we did. He's like, he wants to win, but he understands he's still young and there's still a lot to learn. Like the whole team is very young. There's only up from here. Do I see touchdown regression from a couple people on this team? Absolutely. There's no way that Joe Mixon's going to score a total of 16 touchdowns again. Same with I'm not 100% sure Jamar Chase is going to score 13.
Joe Mixon had 16 touchdowns?
He had 13 rushing and three receiving.
Oh,
yeah, it's wild.
Jesus.
I don't know. Joe Mixon, even though he was using the passing game,
reports say that he's not going to be used in the passing game.
Reports say he's not going to be used as much, but even during the Super Bowl, he was taken out in the final 2 minutes. Samaje Perine was in there. He reminds me of players like Josh Jacobs, Antonio Gibson, who have the capability of being great receiving backs, but at the end of the day, for some reason, the team doesn't want him to catch the ball or the coach doesn't want to catch him the ball. I don't know what it is, but I do see a little bit of regression from Joe Mixon. What do you guys think?
To further home your touchdown point, over the seasons, that was his 5th season. He had 4, 8, 5, 3, and then 13. So yeah, a touchdown regression is definitely likely in the pick for that.
But then on the other side, we see T. Higgins only has 6 touchdowns. We could see possibly more increase for him. Joe Burrow only had 34 touchdowns last year. I have to assume that he might have more. I definitely see him throwing for 5,000 yards next year.
Yeah.
Is that what do you think about that, Joe Drew?
Well, yeah, they got 3 really, really good receivers. I think people forget about Tyler Boyd because he is the third option, but they all almost went for 1,000 last year. Tyler was only 170 short of that. Yeah, 5,000 is definitely within reach. I do wonder how much losing CJ will hurt. Maybe not him, but I don't know where that production goes because he was a pretty solid tight end for them.
Yeah.
I guess Hayden Hurst, but I don't know.
I'm not doing the whole Hayden Hurst thing again. All right, listen, guys, you have to admit when you're wrong. And I admitted it a couple years ago when I was wrong.
I didn't hear a formal apology from you.
You did last year when you were like, but Hayden Hurst is with the Falcons. What about Kyle Pitts? He's going to be taking targets. But I was like, no, fucking Hayden Hurst sucks. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Hayden Hurst never got a fair shake. I will say that. He played next to Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews dominated him. He played next to Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts dominated him. There's not much here for him. You have Drew Sample, who got a little bit of looks last year, but nothing significant enough to really warrant any worry. But, I love T. Higgins. We go over it. Tyler Boyd is a person that every single year since he's been drafted has either reached his ADP or beaten it. Whether it's wide receiver 20, whether it's wide receiver 44, it doesn't matter. He's beating it or reaching it. So he's always a value in drafts. People always overlook him, even though he's a third option. This team threw the ball a lot, and I think they're going to throw the ball more because now there's another year under their belts. They can do a little bit more with the offense.
Look at Tyler Boyd. Minimum 67 receptions the last 4 years, over 800 yards in all of them, and over 4 touchdowns in all of them.
You love to see that. That's efficiency.
Yeah.
He's a perfect bench player.
Yeah, perfect flex/bench. You love to see it.
Third wide receiver on your team.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, not to mention, not that you want any of them to get hurt, but if one of Higgins and Chase go down, he immediately jumps into a high-end
wide receiver 2.
Yeah, wide receiver. Not high-end wide receiver 2, but definitely a wide receiver 2.
Definitely.
Yeah. I see T. Higgins being in the top 12 this year.
You think there's going to be 2 top 10 possibly wide receivers coming out of this?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we saw that. It has
last
to be,
year?
Was it Vikings?
No, couldn't have been last year with the Vikings.
Higgins was in the top 10.
T. Higgins was what?
He's like
12?
15. He missed games. That's a lot.
T. Higgins definitely wasn't in that top 10.
No,
okay.
He missed games.
I think per fantasy points per game he was, but that's.
I don't know
It's a
I don't
weird
remember
stat.
ever seeing 2 top 10 wide receivers on the team.
It's happened because you got to think Randy Moss and Wes Welker. That they had.
It happens.
Then
It's been a long time.
probably Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker. Who was Peyton Manning's receivers?
Sanders?
Maybe it was Sanders and
Decker
Thomas.
was there too.
Yeah, it's happened. It's definitely rare. It doesn't happen that often.
It's possible.
Mahomes kind of did it with Kelsey and Hill.
Yeah.
If you consider him a receiver, Kelsey.
I don't. Not when it comes to 2 wide receivers.
Well, top 2 options on the team.
Yeah. Kelsey, and when they were on top of the world, was putting up wide receiver 5 numbers. So.
Yeah, I don't know how frequently it happens, but I think Joe Burrow can support that though.
Yeah.
I agree. I think there's definitely to be a 5,000 yard passing for him.
Yeah. No, we're talking about T. Higgins. He was hurt after week 2. He had a shoulder injury. He got it over right after the Super Bowl. He got it surgically repaired. I do think that the volume can go to him, and then those deep balls and whatnot that made Chase so electrifying and score so many touchdowns, they go to him. There's a lot of room for this team to grow and just put up massive passing numbers this year, especially with the better offensive line, which it's really what it all comes back down to.
That's the biggest benefit.
The offensive line is going to look 10 times better with the key additions.
Yeah.
I think that's enough about the Bengals. We're going to talk about the Steelers next. Billy's favorite team of the world. They took not only one good QB, they took another QB in the draft. Well, they signed one good QB, and then they drafted another good QB. The key additions for them are Kenny Pickett, first-round pick, coming out of Pitt. You know how it is. Mitch Trubisky, who was taken from the Bills. And then they have second-round pick George Pickens, one of my favorite wide receivers coming out of the draft. The key losses were James Washington, left for the Cowgirls, and Big Ben has retired.
Yeah. For the record, I am a Steelers fan, and I don't like either one of these quarterbacks. I don't like any quarterback on this roster. I'll be the first to tell you. Mitch is going to be the starter. They're saying it's not even really close. Kenny Pickett's currently running with the 3s. Mason Rudolph is currently running with the 2s. If that's true by the end of training camp, Kenny Pickett doesn't see the field all year, because that's the type of person that Mike Tomlin is. He's not going to be like, oh, we're like 4-4. Let's see if Kenny Pickett can get us over the hump. He's not that guy. He's going to find every way possible to somehow get a wild card spot. It's just who he is as a person. He doesn't do the coach talk. He tells you what he's going to do, and then he does it. I told you last year when I was like hyping up Pat Freiermuth, took a few games, obviously, but
Patty,
they were throwing the ball to him in preseason. I said, guys, that's what's going to happen in the season. They did it. They show you what they do, and they beg you to stop them. You know, they're not very secretive. They're not Bill Belichick. They're a very simple offense. They're going to run the ball down your throat. Big Ben, happy to see you leave. Very happy to see him leave.
You're happy for the 6.2 yards per attempt to be gone?
I just don't. He wasn't accurate. He was throwing so many balls over people's heads in the dirt. They were ranked 30th in yards gained per passing play, 28th in yards per play with 4.8 yards. You know, we need the offense to be moving. You know, it's that simple. You were getting the most amount of yards by throwing the ball 2 yards and then somebody running the ball 25.
You're throwing it 2 yards and then they're throwing it to Harris.
Yeah,
that
was the best successes they had, was throwing the ball to Harris, and then they just didn't do it enough. Now, if they really wanted to make the playoffs last year, they would have thrown the ball 120 times.
They didn't.
No, they threw it to him 93 times. I'm aware. But like, how many games did you watch with me? I'm like, throw the ball to Najee, you will score.
Najee had 74 receptions for 460
I'm aware.
yards.
He won't even have 50 this year.
That's so bad.
He won't even have 50 this year.
450 yards. He got nowhere.
I did not realize he caught
6.3 yards per reception.
That's terrible. That has to be last amongst receivers who saw 60-plus targets. Has to be last.
Guaranteed.
Playoff Lenny gets more than that.
Listen, it was the O-line.
This
2
O-line
years in a row. I've been preaching. Please take somebody in the O-line in the first round.
Unfortunately, this offensive line did not get any better.
No.
It's basically the same unit, and that's kind of scary because we already seen what Mitch did with a shitty offensive line being the Bears. And do you really want to see your first-round pick, Kenny Pickett, running for his life?
Kenny Pickett's not going to play.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's either or. You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, the only good part is I think Mitch is more athletic than Kenny. I don't know.
I have more faith in Mitch than I do in Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
I will say that. I didn't want a quarterback at all in this draft. I was like, after we signed Mitch, I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll deal with this. We'll have a losing season. It's fine. But now I have to have faith in Mitch, so I have to see Kenny fucking Pickett in his small hands. You know, ACC quarterbacks. That's what we're about.
Baby.
Here in Pittsburgh, we're about the ACC quarterbacks.
So if they're like, let's start off the season, they're like 2-7. You don't see Kenny Pickett coming?
There's no way they're gonna be 2-7.
I mean, the only reason
that's the only reason
why this team is somewhat decent is because they do have a good defense.
They have a great defense. Their offensive weapons are great. They just have bad quarterback play and bad offensive line. Everything else works.
So they're the Giants.
No, they're way better than the Giants. they're leaps and bounds better than the Giants. I'm
just
not
saying.
wrong. You can't compare the Giants defense to the Steelers defense.
I'm pretty
You
sure.
had the number one turnover differential last year.
Judge's first
most
year,
sacks.
we had a top 10 defense in the.
That's cute.
Yeah,
that's
we
very
did.
cute.
I'm just saying.
That's very cute.
And a bad offensive line.
Yeah, it's very cute.
I'm just saying.
Top 10 defense is very cute.
I do think.
It's almost 1/3.
It's almost the same thing, though, offensively wise.
Well, I think Ben leaving is a positive. The one thing you kind of lose, and this was the same thing with the Broncos had when Manning left, is while he couldn't throw the ball deep, he got them in the right play every time. And
Yes.
Ben's knowledge for them, that's the only reason they were even able to gain yards, because he got them in a play that he knew the defense couldn't stop.
Oh my God.
Here we go. That's what they'll miss, because even though Mitch could throw the ball further, he probably won't read the defense correctly as often as Ben did. And that's what
Correct.
I think will be interesting.
Yeah.
How many, will Devontae Johnson catch 107 balls with Mitch Trubisky? I don't know. I definitely don't think Najee Harris catches 74 with.
I think there's a better.
There's no way.
I think there's a better chance that Najee catches 74 again than Deontay catches 107. Is that bold?
Only because they have Claypool and they now have Pickens. Not Pickens. They have Pickens.
Yeah, Pickens.
Mitch,
I don't
and
know.
Big
That-
check down guy.
That's fairly bold, just because. Oh man, I don't know. That's a lot of screenplays or check downs.
I want to know what the under is on his.
That's
on his
them
catches.
running
I'm gonna
away
hit
from
it.
the pocket and him seeing Najee. I was like, somebody throw him the ball.
I just don't know if they'll even throw it as much as often as they did last year. Again, Ben controlled the whole offense. At the end of the day,
They had to
he
throw the
audibled.
ball, though,
Yeah,
because
did.
they were never scoring.
I
they were
just-
always throwing the ball 3 feet.
I feel like there'll be a little bit more run first this year.
I hope so.
Maybe I'm wrong and they'll be the pass happy, but I think they trusted at least Ben got him in the right play. I don't know they're going to trust Mitch Trubisky to do that, or
I think
obviously not pick.
I think Johnson's either gonna have like a really bad year or it's gonna be great. It's not gonna be like.
It's not going to be, at least in my opinion, I don't think it's going to be as good as you've seen in years prior. Like last year was banged up a couple games and it was tough to really get a good assessment. But he had a good year. He got 107 balls, but at the same time, you're not happy with 7 catches, 60 yards.
All I'm not happy is 105 targets going to Claypool and he's only catching 60 passes. That's
kind of what you sign up for when you're getting Claypool. You're getting these
He's a
lot
deep
of
ball.
yeah.
He's a deep ball
you're a
guy.
deep ball and trick play kind of guy. You're not always going to get that.
He's not a possession catcher.
I know you were a big Claypool guy last year. You put a lot into Claypool, but
Look at Deontay Johnson. He almost had 170 targets. It only cost 107.
yeah,
So-
that's what it comes down to. It's he wasn't very accurate. He was throwing the ball in the dirt. He was throwing the ball over people's heads.
Do you think Deontay Johnson is worth his ADP right now? It's 39, so it's third round.
Oh no,
Do you think that's drafting him at his peak?
that's at the very highest. Who's the next 2 receivers forward before him and after him?
I'll have to double check.
Yeah, just
but-
pull up any. I don't think it is personally. I like Pickens a lot. It's gonna take some time for him to be fantasy relevant with this kind of offense, at least from the offense that we think is coming, I should say, because the offense could be completely different with Mitch. They could do a lot more, really, but he's a great run blocker. He's got one of the all-time blocks.
mixtapes.
Block mixtapes. It's great.
He's just an animal.
Yeah, he's huge, strong.
The wide receivers going around Deontay. Right above him is T. Higgins. Right below him is Michael Pittman.
Come on now, no shot.
I would take Johnson over Pittman, and I would take what's his name
T.
over.
Higgins.
I'm taking both of them way before.
Well, we already know last week.
Yeah, I know. I don't think that's where he should be getting drafted. That's by
See, I'm
far
thinking-
his
I'm
ceiling.
thinking
That's
like-
his ceiling.
That's wide receiver 13.
No,
Yeah.
no shot. He's reaching
high.
that again. There's a good chance he top 24. Decent chance he's not.
I just see a lot of these wide receivers like right around the same numbers.
Yeah.
All around the 800, 900 range. I just don't know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, I feel like the offense might struggle early on, and like Joe said, they're gonna lean into the rushing game more. But there's even been mixed reports about that.
It'll be interesting to see what we get from Mitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole reason why he went over to Buffalo is to to learn.
Yeah.
Under Josh Allen
My
and that
boy.
offense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what he's learned in the past 2 years.
He took a couple of knees. He looked good. He looked good when he took those knees.
Unfortunately, this offensive line sucks.
Yeah.
Should-
Fortunately, he has wheels.
Should have researched more into Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator there. I just know he was their quarterback coach last year. So I don't know what his play calling looks like. He was a college coach for his entire career before that. So.
And where was he coach at college?
Maryland, LSU, Pittsburgh, all over, Wisconsin, Indiana.
Man, those are real bad quarterback schools, man.
Did he teach?
Outside LSU, those are real bad quarterback schools.
Did he teach Kenny?
No. I don't think so. 2016, maybe. No. It was before him.
I think he transferred there.
It was before him.
Even then, it'd still be before.
Way before. Yeah.
Real quick about Najee, there was mixed reports coming out that I think he said it, that he wasn't going to have the same workloads he did last year. And then like a week or so ago, Mike Tomlin said, that's not true. You're getting the ball every fucking down. So,
I mean, 307 carries plus 94 targets.
Yeah.
God, that workload. If they're talking about 400 potential touches, that's absurd.
I bet my life he doesn't see
that's McCaffrey numbers.
that many targets.
That's definitely McCaffrey numbers.
It's McCaffrey numbers.
And look, he's dead on the sideline.
I think that's why he came out. Like, that was pretty early. It was like early April. He like tweeted out or something. I'm not going to work that hard. Shit like that. I don't know. It was in third downs more specifically, but they don't really have a strong pass catching back.
At the end of the day, if they want to win games, you're right. Like, Najee's going to touch the ball.
Yeah, Najee's going to touch the ball 30 times a game.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about my Steelers, who are going to just ruin my life. All year. Make me sad. Just like sad.
The rest of the things in life.
Sad. Good thing I got the Bills now. So it's okay.
Next up, we got the Ravens. Key additions, Tyler Limbron. Said that wrong, but it's okay. Linder Bomb. Anyway,
he's admitting it.
key losses is obviously Hollywood Brown.
Oh, that's funny.
This offense is going to be very creative, I guess, with a lot of tight ends and rushing the ball. Lamar's going to be running himself to death. They really only have Rashad Bateman. Yep. They have third-round pick Devin Duvernay. How do you say his name?
Yeah, he was on the team.
I can't even say
Duvernay, yeah.
Yeah, he's been on the team for
he's been
a couple years now.
2 years.
Yeah.
Besides that, we don't really know who else is on this team. We obviously have Dobbins coming back at the running back.
We think. We don't know that he's going to be back.
He's not. You think he's not coming back?
Yeah, reports came out to say he may not be ready.
We just saw a video
not
of him trucking people.
That's practice. It's different.
Yeah.
We don't know.
He's running straight, man.
We don't know yet.
I promise you he's back. Mark Andrews, obviously you're going to get one, if not the top two tight ends, maybe top three with Kyle Pitts.
He was number one last year.
He was number one last year, and it was
because he's the only one there.
Decent margin, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we got to talk about most is what do we expect when Hollywood Brown is gone.
Yep.
That's 146 targets out of here.
Yep.
He barely had 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. He was obviously the deep ball.
It's also important to note Lamar only played 12 games.
12 games. They have a better running back in Tyler Huntley anyway.
Better running back. Well, I wonder if they'll see a double quarterback option
I
this
promise
year.
you. I promise you.
Imagine, hands it off, throws it.
I promise you.
I think you'll see some of that this season.
You're going to see something because Lamar needs some kind of help here.
If you look at both QBs, it's almost identical. Like
Tyler Huntley rushed better.
He's a better running back.
Yeah.
Their completion percentage is almost exactly the same, 64, 65. They average almost the same yards per attempt, 1.6, 1.7.
Nah, it was more than that. It was 7.5 to 5.8.
Yeah, but you also have a lot less sample, but neither to say.
I mean, it was 90 less
Lamar
yards
had
a
2
game.
rushing touchdowns last year.
got hurt.
And
And
only played 12.
remember,
He played 12 games.
yeah, but remember they put an emphasis.
Tyler Huntley
They put an emphasis on him throwing it. Remember, they didn't want him running so much.
Yeah, I mean,
That was their offense. They threw it a lot last
Marquise
year.
Brown dropped 50-something balls last year. So, yeah, at what point?
They put an emphasis on him passing the ball last year.
Yeah. No, I know. And that didn't work out.
I mean, he did still lead the team in rushing attempts, and he only played 12 games, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I mean, that running back room was
Bullshit.
yeah, it was bullshit.
They also have Mike Davis, Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
At the running back position. But like I said, what are we expecting from Hollywood Brown being gone? You expect Bateman to be like this big key feature? You think this is a big boost year 2?
A little booster year 2.
Little boost.
It's definitely worth owning. I'll tell you that. Definitely being a 15th round keeper. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I do think that he's gonna have a solid impact. I'm not talking like top 20, but the very low end wide receiver 2 is not far out of the question because he's not as much of that deep threat guy who's going to catch one ball for 50 yards and a touchdown out of nowhere. You know, he's got good hands, runs good routes. I don't think we're going to see as explosive of an offense as we've seen in the past. You know, it's going to be a little bit slower. I don't think that it's going to be very fast paced. Like you wrote, a lot of double tight end sets, a lot of running plays, a lot of RPOs. You know, it's interesting.
I wrote this down because when they did the draft, they drafted 2 tight ends. They already had two tight ends. They're paying for it. They're paying tight ends. They have Nick Boyle and Mark Andrews, and then on top of that, they drafted 2 tight ends. I know they're going 2-3 tight ends sets all the time.
Yeah,
I just know for a fact the both of them were 4th round picks. They have Charlie Kolar, which is like a blocking tight end. He's probably exactly like Nick Boyle, who's the blocking tight end. But then they drafted out of Carolina. His name is Isaiah Likely, who's basically like a wide receiver. 6'4". He's kind of like a bad man's Kyle Pitts.
A bad man's or a poor man's?
A poor man's.
Poor man's Kyle Pitts.
Batman's Kyle Pitts. I know what you meant.
No, I wasn't even going to say anything. When I saw his face, he was like, what?
A Batman's Kyle Pitts.
We're not talking about Bateman.
Batman's Kyle Pitts.
Bad man Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts
Poor
is
man's
Batman,
Kyle
and
Pitts.
And he's Robin.
He's Robin.
I hate you guys.
That was gonna be a long double episode today. I'm like,
Oh God.
I thought I was doing decent.
you were until that. I don't disagree. He's very athletic.
I'm going home.
I was gonna say he's more like Evan Ingram instead of Kyle Pitts. You know, a poor man's Evan Ingram.
Size wise, because Ingram is still 6'2". Yeah. I mean, he's still a rival. He's essentially like a fat wide receiver. He's at least looks like a tight end.
Yeah, that's fair. I lost all my train of thought.
We were talking about Bateman, and then we.
Oh yeah, no, we were talking about tight ends because me being the guy a couple years ago on this very podcast said that the Ravens are big tight end people.
You did,
and nobody ever believes me. Here we are.
I'm the one that says Lamar Jackson was the Nets' Michael Vick, and here I am.
He's not. Michael Vick's
way better. He's way better at passing.
That's Bateman. He's the only option on the team, and you still want, unlike like a running back on a bad team, you still want the number 1 wide receiver on a team that doesn't throw the ball a crazy amount. You know?
He's gonna have 150 targets.
Yeah, he could have 125, and it's still very fantasy worthy.
Because there's 50 targets gone from Watkins. And then you have 146 gone from Brown.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Bateman. I mean,
shit, no job though.
You saw his production wasn't great last year. I mean, it turned it on at the end of the year, but I mean, he's going to see 100-plus targets, probably in the 130, 140 range. Possession receiver.
Yeah.
They need him, and they clearly believe in his talent because they drafted him in the first round last year. He is talented. You saw it in the few games he played. I think he clearly takes over the role
hear
that
that?
Brown was.
Yeah.
That's him crying right now.
I know
Crying?
it is. He texted me about it after he saw me pick him up at the end of the year.
I did. I said, "Fuck, I shouldn't have." Well, I wasn't gonna keep him over Jamar Chase and
Well,
Cooper
yeah,
Kupp anyway.
yeah,
but
but like it's
You
a good
didn't.
pickup.
You also didn't think they were gonna trade Hollywood Brown.
no, I didn't. And now he's a great option.
I
The only reason why they traded Hollywood Brown is because of Christian
me.
Kirk
because of me.
and what he did to the wide receiver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
That's
You're
the only
probably
reason
right.
why. Because Christian Kirk signed that huge
Oh,
deal.
shout out to Terry McLaurin for getting signed. We didn't say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, he did.
Got the bag.
But that's exactly what happened. He gets signed. Kirk gets signed. Then Brown was like, "Trade me." Debo's like, "Trade me."
Yeah. Y'all can't.
They want to
afford
get
me.
that paid, and no one's gonna pay. A lot of teams are not paying wide receivers like this.
No, that's why we saw so much movement.
And you definitely don't want to pay Hollywood Brown that much.
Yep.
But again, just getting back to our point, Bateman, I think there's a lot of upside with him. I don't.
It's capped though. There's
Yes,
definitely a cap because
again,
of-
they're rushing offense.
they're a very heavy rushing offense, but he's going to be a weekly starter on fantasy teams this year. He's not being drafted as one, by the way. Not yet.
I was gonna say, do you know what his ADP
Around
is?
late 8th round, early 9th round.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, 92.
Yeah.
So yeah, late 8th round.
He should be going probably 5th or 6th.
Yeah, that's fair. 6th round
yeah.
is more than fair.
That is great value right now. Wow.
Yeah, 15th round, bitch.
That he needs a keeper like that. But you wanna know why? Because he keeps a QB every year.
I was not keeping a QB this year.
Oh,
I already told you that.
Oh, you said you were. I have the best keeper in the world, Josh Allen.
Yeah. I'm moving on. I'm holding
He's
the
learning.
structure.
He's
Holding the
learning.
structure.
You can't win with.
I have
taking a
12
QB.
fantasy picks this year. I don't have opportunity to keep a quarterback.
gotta-
I'm not even drafting a quarterback. I don't have room for one.
That's actually totally possible.
I did like 4 mock drafts waiting at work today. I'm like,
No wonder he.
What am I doing?
No wonder he took Jones with the 15th pick or whatever he did.
yeah, I took Daniel Jones as my quarterback today. I need to fill a roster first.
All right, J.K. Dobbins. You're saying the reports are saying that he might not start Week 1. If he is, what do we expect from him?
Not as much as you expect from him.
I'm thinking about taking him in my 2nd round pick. I'm desperate over here.
That's bold. That's bold.
That's wild.
That's not wild. It's bold. That's not
bold.
a wild take because he is a good running back. I do, as much as we talked about last year, Lamar, they're trying to focus on letting him throw the ball more and running less. He's a running back at heart. He's going to run the ball when he wants to. He's with what, year 4 now, Lamar?
Yes, because he still hasn't.
He's got full range of this offense at this point.
Yep.
You know, he sees something he quote unquote doesn't like. He's changing that play up for a run for himself.
100%.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where you see like the running back is getting the ball in the 10-yard line. He's like, nope.
Yeah, it's mine. It's mine now. That's what I worry about. I always worried about it. Same with Gus Edwards. You know, they've always split work down there, so it's top 10 is a little much for me. Is he talented enough to do it? Yes. Will he be healthy Week 1? I don't think so. Gus Edwards might not be healthy Week 1.
Yeah, both are kind of.
They got hurt back-to-back days.
August 28th and September 9th were the 2 injuries.
Oh,
It
I
was
remember
close.
this because
Close.
everyone was like, I got Gus Edwards.
Yeah.
Literally
It's like the week after.
12 days later, Gus Edwards tears his ACL in practice.
And like a week later, I traded for the other bum, wherever he is.
Le'Veon Bell.
No,
Tyson
Williams.
But we had that argument. You still
Yeah.
thought Le'Veon Bell was better, and I was like,
And then I
what
traded
the
for
fuck are you
Williams,
talking
and none of them played.
They're all
Nah, I mean, Tyson played 13 games. He just
Yeah, he played 13 games,
like,
but guess what?
got a touch a game. So
Devontae Freeman came and was like, hey.
yeah, I mean, see that coming.
I do think you're just gonna have to keep monitoring it till both get back.
It's
but
too soon to really.
yeah, both tore their ACLs, so they might be a little rough off the gate. You know, we've seen guys take a year to get back from that, but I mean, J.K. Dobbins' rookie season was.
Any love
was
for
nice.
Mike Davis if you're the one that doesn't play Week 1?
No.
Nah, he
Just
looked like
checking.
shit. He looked like shit with the Falcons.
Yeah, he couldn't even get the starting job from a wide receiver last
They also
year,
have that rookie Tyler
so.
Beatty or whatever his name is.
I don't know him.
He's just like some guy they drafted in the 5th or 6th round this year. Again, probably not notable, but
yeah, once they're both back, it's not notable. I don't love.
You know what's not notable? The Browns.
What a shit show.
Solid transition.
That's the best transition you've ever done.
Literally.
Check.
Key additions, we have
Gold star for Mike.
Gold Star. Smiley face.
Oh, God.
Who do we have for the key additions? Who's that first guy?
Bill Cosby's nephew.
Bill Cosby's nephew.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson. We have Amari Cooper, and we have Landry's twin, David Bell.
Yep.
3rd round pick. I think he's from Purdue.
Yes.
Key losses: Jarvis Landry, and now Baker Mayfield.
That was funny. Did Joe? Did you write that last night?
I did.
Did you know?
I did not, but I had a feeling it was coming soon.
Right? What?
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he wrote that last night because I woke up this morning. That was there.
What'd
Yeah.
you
I
write?
said, "Whoa,
I just
Baker
wrote
Mayfield
Baker
with losses."
as a
I didn't write
loss.
that.
Oh,
That wasn't there yesterday.
best notes he wrote all day.
He think I was like he knows something. I woke up. I wasn't surprised at all when I got the news. Man.
When he doesn't know something, he knows something. And when we ask him if he knows something, he's so wrong.
Very true.
Who's getting drafted first overall in the NBA?
Oh,
This person's
lock.
a fucking lock. I know
It's
his
a lock.
sister's brother's nephew. What?
It's a guarantee.
Guaranteed.
Wrong.
Put the house on it.
Greg Lock of the century.
Yeah. The can't lose parlay.
Can't lose.
All right. We already know Watson's going to be suspended for X amount of the.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know, but we
know
know.
he's been suspended. We don't know how long.
Yes.
Okay, and
That could be
he's
an
not
appeal,
starting
right?
the season not suspended.
Could he appeal right away and still play?
He could appeal right away, but I don't think he can play. I think they'll put him on the indefinite suspension, whatever it is, the commissioner's exempt list.
He still
and
gets
I
that
think-
guaranteed money though.
And I think that he is not gonna, fight it because you know what, that's usually what they do. Like if you're really bad and they you just kind of just take it.
If you're a bad boy.
Because who got suspended and they're like, you know what, I won't fight it.
DeAndre Hopkins, he knew he broke the drug use policy or whatever.
When they know they're suspended, they're suspended. I don't think there is. Even though the NFL, what's the like? They said that he shouldn't be suspended.
The PA says, yeah, of course, they're for the players. They're not gonna.
But I'm
they're not gonna
saying
say that.
They're putting it out loud. I wouldn't even say nothing.
Yeah, you can't really defend that guy.
I don't know how. I mean, yeah, you can't really defend this.
Anyway, we're looking at Jacoby Brisket.
Yeah, gotta risk it for the brisket, baby.
Okay, being the starter week 1.
Realistically,
I would plan for this if I owned anyone on their team.
and
Yes.
I would not own many people on this team then.
Not with Deshaun Watson
no.
potentially out for the
I
year.
would honestly, I would love David Bell if Watson was on the team.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
really write
really
about
like
him.
David Bell coming out of Purdue. Really do.
Mhm.
And I like Cooper. Cooper's good for the first 6 games of the year.
He's good for 6 games.
Yeah. And after that, it's what you expect from People Jones, who's in year
3, I
3?
believe. Yeah.
I'm not giving him a boost.
2.
I was high on him.
Is it 2?
Yeah,
That's
2.
in
2020.
2020.
Oh, okay.
So he's on year 2. He's not getting a boost from me. The big question is, what are we
No,
expecting?
it's year
Yeah,
3.
yeah. I just did the math now in my head.
He's messing me up.
I'm doing
Yeah.
math. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
I'm like, that don't add up.
Yeah,
not
I was
getting-
like 2020.
He's not
is 3
getting
years.
a boost.
Okay.
No
No
boost.
boost.
No boost.
No boost.
Not
Okay.
with Jacoby. Or Joshua Dobbs, who's, thank God he's on the Steelers. He's bad.
I love Joshua.
I like him as a person.
He's a rocket scientist. You know this?
He's a genius.
He works for NASA.
Yeah, he can't throw football.
He can run the football.
He knows how to
Can't
make
throw
one.
one.
He knows the physics of how
Tennessee
it works.
great. Tennessee great.
Yeah, listen, I have nothing against the guy. He just can't play football for my team,
That's why he's a backup.
for the enemy.
What we have to think about is what's going to happen with Nick Chubb and, as of right now, Kareem Hunt. Does Kareem Hunt get traded? He might get traded for another QB. Kareem Hunt. Because there's talks
That
about
never happens.
That would never happen.
That never happens.
Who's going to trade a quarterback?
not
for,
a good
I bet
one,
the Browns
but one
trade-
one better than Jacoby.
I don't even know what you're getting for Kareem Hunt, to be honest.
Baker Mayfield.
Like, yeah. Sam Darnold? Are they getting Sam
It's
Darnold?
just
Oh,
trade
they
bait.
wouldn't because they don't need him.
Right.
They would have obviously just traded for him.
There is more value if Brissett plays in Kareem Hunt than there is in Nick Chubb.
Like what? Like I don't know, because San Francisco doesn't need a running back, or would be perfect.
Yeah, I mean technically they do.
Oh, they
you know
could.
they will.
Jimmy G.
Take him. They would take him for
That'd
Jimmy
be
G.
Jimmy G
dangerous.
to the Browns.
That's the only situation
This
where
is
I
the
could
only-
see they trade a running back for a quarterback. I don't think anyone else in the league is even considering
Kyle
that.
Shanahan's like, absolutely.
He'd take Kareem Hunt in a heartbeat.
I
Right-
love that.
Right now, Nick Chubb is definitely going downhill with this offense, just because there's no QB.
Yep.
We saw
Yeah,
what Jacoby. We showed what Brisket did when he was a starting QB for the Colts.
He's not good. He's clearly not good.
He's a good backup. He's good if you need somebody to fill in.
Win 1-2 games for you.
Yeah, to play a whole season, you're not gonna like it.
He's going to be playing against stack boxes the whole year, Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
No question. They don't have, Amari's solid, but Amari ain't Odell. Well, I'm not even going to say Odell, but he ain't.
Yeah, he ain't Odell either.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, he's not wide receiver one where you're so concerned about double covering every single play.
He's a wide receiver too on most good
Yeah.
offenses. The only good thing, they have one, if not the best offensive line in the league.
Did they? Last year they weren't great.
They had a lot of injuries. It's turned to go back to being good. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, he's telling you.
If they're healthy, then I'll buy it.
Now, the only person on offense maybe is David Njoku. Do you see a scenario where, well, obviously Jacob is not going to be passing the ball deep. David Njoku's there. He's obviously going to see the targets. He had 53 last year. We really didn't see him because we saw Austin Hooper. He took 61 carries. Receptions from him. Harrison Bryant took 28.
I mean,
You would think right now with this offense, he sees 100 targets.
I can't give it to him.
What? I don't know.
I can't do that.
That's crazy.
David
to
Njoku has
me.
been on this team for how many years?
They just made him one of the highest paid tight
That's
ends.
not my question.
They made Austin Hooper
That's
one of
not
the
my
highest
question. Yeah,
paid
that's
tight
not my
ends.
question.
They got rid of him.
Yeah,
yeah.
because they realized they stink at paying tight ends.
It wasn't my yeah, but they gave him
Look
this
at
contract.
this. But what did he play last year? He played 16 games. He had
He wasn't a starter for 16.
53
How?
targets.
How? Explain how you just get Austin Hooper in, and then Harrison Bryant plays over David Njoku most snaps, and then now he's the starter and he's going to get automatically 100 targets? There's no way. There's no way.
I'm telling you, he's going to get 100 targets.
His career high is
He's
88.
He averages 13.2 yards per reception.
Not so hot take. The Browns finish last and going to start browning again. That's what's going to happen.
I don't think that's a hot take considering
They don't want
Watson
to.
will
They
be
don't want
out,
to because
but-
they traded all their first round picks.
They're not going
They
to
don't
try.
wanna-
They're not
they
going
don't-
to try to tank. They're just not going to be good. If they can't run the ball like
They still
want
have
to,
a decent defense.
they can't run the ball like they want to.
It's like mid-tier.
Yeah,
It's not great.
it's
It's
not as
gotten-
good as people think.
After the draft, they got a lot better. A lot better.
Yeah, but they're not.
They're
problem-
not even the
they're-
best.
The
defense
problem
in the
was
division.
secondary, and they one of the corners fell to them again.
I don't even know if they're the second best defense in their division.
In their division, you're gonna have one
Yeah.
of the best defensive divisions in the league.
Yeah, every year. And every year, it's like, oh, their defense is good. But like, is it really that good
But
compared to the division?
Okay, but also you're gonna go against the Ravens, who are playing 3 tight ends, and then the only people you have to worry about is
But you
the
have people-
Bengals.
People make plays on the other teams. That's the difference.
Dude, we don't
like-
know what the Steelers are gonna make plays.
Najee can make plays.
The Steelers could beat this team if they don't have Deshaun Watson. It's simple as that.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Browns. That's why I'm saying that the Steelers will somehow make a fucking wild card spot because they had the Browns twice.
I'm not sure that anyone on this team sees 100 targets, to be honest. I wouldn't be shocked. If
I
none
would.
of them do.
I don't think that's right. I think David Bell could see 100 targets. That's a realistic thing.
Nobody last year saw 100 targets, and they had Baker, who is definitely better than Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
Baker didn't have a shoulder.
Yeah, they threw the ball. What's that?
Still,
520
418 times.
Well, that
500
was
total.
Baker, 520 total.
Yeah, 520 total. That's one of the lowest in the league.
They're not going to throw it a lot this year with Jacoby Brissett back there.
Yeah, and then They know that there's no real arm talent back there, so there will be stat boxes.
Exactly. They're going to know they're going to have to pass the ball.
Amari is not somebody that needs to be double covered anymore. David Njoku really, besides being tall, doesn't really pose much of a threat. I don't see this team being very good. The number one person I want on this team would be Kareem Hunt for the checkdowns.
I don't think Kareem Hunt's even on the team, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
No, it's
They
very fair to
They just paid Johnson.
They gave him like what, $1.5 million?
They didn't pay him.
They didn't pay him. They just re-signed him.
Well, they want Hunt gone. That's been the reports all year.
Who wants Hunt gone? Nick Chubb? You can't catch a football.
No,
he's their best receiver right now.
Kareem
Hunt is their best receiver. He's the guy who might see the most targets.
They paid Johnson $1.2 million.
Not even 1.5, 1.2.
Hunt's gone. I'm telling you.
Okay.
He might, but I mean, either way, this team's just very unappealing currently. If Deshaun Watson's suspended, there's very little you're really intrigued about here.
Yeah.
I agree. This is
the Houston Texans last year, with slightly better O-line and better running backs. Because you have Brandon Cooks, who's a household name.
I can't agree with this. I can't say Houston.
Because, I will say
think about
Nick
it.
Chubb's significantly better than any running
that's what I said.
back
Outside of the running backs, there's not much difference.
Even wide receivers, besides Cooks,
Besides Amari.
I would take People Jones over half the people over at Houston.
That's bold.
I don't even know about
You're
me right now, you're David Bell. I would still take.
I like David Bell.
I would still take David Bell over almost everybody over at Houston.
I like David Bell. I also think that he's an unproven rookie, and with Jacoby Brissett, what are you really getting out of that?
I'm just saying I'm not comparing the two. That's what
I wouldn't say it's as far as people think it is.
And David Mills.
I'm allowed to have a hot take.
David Mills is my guy.
That's your guy? You're sticking to it?
You keep talking bad about David Mills.
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. Yeah. He's gonna shit on your face.
Okay. Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know what else.
The giraffe. I want a picture of giraffe with your face on it.
Would you currently take Nick Chubb? His ADP is 17. Is it worth it at that rank? No.
I would rather
take him in the third round. That's fair.
I'd rather take the risk with Dobbins not playing the first couple weeks, and I also will take Akers over him.
Jeez.
I wouldn't take Akers, but I definitely would take Dobbins.
Yeah, you're not high on Akers this year. In general.
Here is the people going.
It's the Achilles thing for me.
Yeah.
The people going with Nick Chubb are Saquon and Javonte Williams.
I take Javonte. I take.
You see that?
Aaron Jones goes behind him too, right?
No, he goes a couple spots before him.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara goes before him. Alvin Kamara is probably going to be suspended.
Yeah. But I was thinking about this.
I'm definitely 100% taking Barkley over him.
I don't know how much we got into it because we didn't have that information about Kamara, but I was thinking about Hopkins. Like, what round do you take him?
We talked about it.
We kind of did.
Kind of did, but I don't feel like we did very much.
We didn't talk about it as much as we should have.
I don't want to change the topic too much. But
we didn't talk about him as much as we should have, but I think currently he's going in the sixth
round.
Wow, this says he's going 97th. I don't think Fantasy Pros is right about that, though. Because I did a mock draft the other day, and he went in the 6th round, so I don't think that's right.
No, just because we talked about Kamara and
these
people
players
we're going to miss
are either going to ruin your season or make your season. Yeah. And I can't tell. I mean, I would bet more.
Depends on your team.
I would bet more on Kamara just because he's running back. And you already know he hasn't had a down season. As in Hopkins, he's coming off an injury. He is in his 30s now, I believe. He's like, 31?
Yeah, he's 31, I believe.
So, coming off an injury, knee injury, I would bet on Kamara.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd take Kamara over Chubb.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, you take the 6 games potentially missed over...
Yep. I take the 6 games missed and draft Mark Ingram in the fucking 10th round.
All right, are you going
to get Kamara for free?
It's not confirmed 6 games.
No, but that's still likely.
Even if it was.
Okay.
I'd still take it.
Yeah. Would you, today,
right now,
you don't know the suspension.
For Deshaun?
You risking it. No, for Kamara.
Oh, yeah, I'd risk it.
You don't know.
In the second round? Yeah.
You're going to go Kamara?
Yeah.
Okay. If it ends up 8 games, you screwed.
No, I don't think. I think 6 is like the max.
It's 6.
Facing.
It's either 6 or a year.
So it's 6 or a year.
Nah, it's just not going to happen.
That's
It's
the thing.
6.
Why?
I think the max was 6. He might get 4.
This is what. Okay, there's a report. Saints expect Alvin Kamara to at least get a 6-game
At least.
suspension.
I
Yeah,
like
it could
6.
be more. I thought it was at most.
I thought it was at most 2.
If he's suspended 8 games, you switching?
Yeah, I mean, that's most of your season.
I'm just saying that's a playoff or bust.
Yeah, but that, like I told you, I would have a plan if I'm taking Kamara. I'm reaching a round or 2 early to
have to
take
have a
Mark
plan.
Ingram, and where like Chubb, like I don't find very much value in Chubb. I never really have. Where like he's never been on my team. I've never owned him because he's one dimensional. He runs the ball.
At least with Kamara, if you draft Kamara, you could go into your draft knowing I know who the handcuff is.
Yeah, because
Like Chubb, you're like he's not hurt, he's not suspended,
it's just he's very one dimensional, and he's not going to get the same production.
and
you
he's on a
think
shitty team.
Now he's on a shitty team, and you don't want running backs on a shitty team,
especially
that early in the draft.
Well, not even just that. Ones that don't particularly catch the football a ton.
Yeah,
Yep.
Because
and
then you're trailing and you're losing carries and touches.
That's why I see a lot more value in Kareem Hunt. And even if, say, Kareem Hunt gets traded, Nick Chubb's still not catching the football.
And Kareem Hunt can still have success in his new team.
Yeah.
Depending on where it is.
exactly. I thought you were about to say something different, so I stopped.
I know, I'm not as dumb as I look.
Yeah, I was like, where are you going?
I really want to push the narrative the hunt for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that's not a
you
bad
like-
idea
we're getting
at
trending.
all.
Yeah,
like it.
I
I
like
would
that.
love to see Kareem Hunt on the 49ers.
I mean, I think it's very unlikely that trade would happen, but I think it's a good one.
I think that the reason why I don't see it happening, they've drafted 3 running backs in the 3rd round in the last 3
Kyle
years.
Shanahan don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I think it's probably like one too many running backs.
Yeah,
And
one. You think they just drafted 1/3?
That's Kyle Shanahan's dream. He sits at home, plays Madden, and trades quarterbacks for running backs all day. All day long.
I also don't know that the Browns want to pay like $80 million to quarterbacks because like Garoppolo has that $25 million cap hit this year, and then it's like you got to pay Deshaun Watson to not play the entire season.
I wonder what
$40
Jacoby's
million.
getting paid,
What a
like $4 million probably.
They really fucked up their own team.
They're
They were looking good
They're paying
for a few
half
years.
of Baker right now.
And then now they're just,
Yeah, I think they still have to eat some of Baker's
They,
salary.
no, they agreed on half each.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see
Oh
that
my
part of the
God.
I know because I read more than you.
Browns. Poor Browns. The Browns are gonna Brown once again.
That was the deal breaker. You have to eat half of his
Yeah.
salary.
Oof. Oof. All right, I think that does
yeah,
it.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
yeah. Like, follow, subscribe.
And on a stinker.
Yeah, I mean the Browns stink. Like, follow, subscribe. Like, follow, subscribe.
Smooches. Love us. We love you.